we shall begin the next big thing.
Cool.
Alright, I gotta turn on the Big Blast, the actual audio for Big Blast, though. It doesn't go over the game audio, the music audio. Down to 1.
And a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright.
Here we are.
Here it is. Yeah, Mario Artist!
Blastcast.
Yeah. Alright. We have a whole list of questions to go through while we're doing some Big Blast.
Hell yeah.
To start off this next big thing for the podcast, since we got all 4 of us, we got all our Switches here. Look at us go. We're great. To start us off, we're gonna be doing a bit of a actually. Since we're doing this, I forgot that I had to press up Switch. I'll be real. Since we're doing this, since we have all these Switches, up front next to each other, for all of us, why do we like our colors the best?
I like red because you have the fewest amount of opportunities to press it.
That's fair. Also,
Yeah,
real quick,
I
I'm
didn't
going
press
to
the game.
make you. I'm actually going to make you a little bit bigger because I realize you're a little small for being Link.
Cool.
Not quite that big, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second favorite Switch is the one that you get to. Oh. Oh,
Uh,
I didn't click in. Okay, now we're good. Crap.
We're good, but we're not good. Yeah.
Why does the first Switch and I just mash in this game?
That's entirely fair. Red is always the first to go. Can you take a guess as to why I like the Switch that I like? Could you take a wild shot in the dark on that one? Almost like it's like I almost wrapped the color.
You really want to spite people who like purple.
It is one of the best outcomes. It is the best out of the ones that we double triple down on. That's true. That is also true.
Based.
Yeah, Revenge, what about you?
I like yellow. Or orange. I think it's a good
Yellow,
compliment.
orange.
I've grown more fond of the color orange over the years.
Wait, sorry, you just won that one.
That was Venge. Right? Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Great.
See, look, this is the background noise podcast.
Yeah.
It's golden. It's basically just
Gold, yeah. It's much
Gold's
better.
also
You are
cool.
Wario.
Yeah, I'm a Wario.
All right, we've all right.
Wow.
Wow.
We have done the initial explanation of the game that we are seeing in front of us. Why does nobody here like green? Is another question.
I guess the only reason I like red is because it's the one you get to press the least. Normally, I love green.
Okay, that's also fair.
Hence my character being Link.
Yeah.
Watch this.
I don't know.
Never
I
mind.
don't need the specific green. I like darker colors, and the red is pretty dark.
Yeah, the red is a nice red. I think the green stands out. It's a good green for this game, but at the same time, I think it's a green that's that I personally don't like.
Yeah, I can see that.
I prefer mints and prefer mints or darker greens that go into blue. Bluish greens, teals.
Yeah, my preferred greens are
That's
also
why I
dark.
don't really
Like,
appreciate.
forest
That's why I
green
don't
is
really
a
like
pretty
it.
cool one.
Yeah, forest green is also good. Yeah, with the Switch discussion out of the way, though, let's actually move on to the main meat and potatoes of what we're going to be talking about, and that would be talking about the games that the game that we just played for the past like 4 or 5 months. Fun Kingdom and just kind of the series in general, like kind of both of those things. So like, let's just kind of get into it. Why the floor have a screw attack icon? Because it's like, it's not quite screw attack icon. You can see the shape make a bomb. It sort of makes a bomb.
You'd think it would be Bowser shaped at least.
And you'd expect it to be Bowser shaped, but it's not.
Yeah, that is just kind of a generic electricity symbol. Yeah, you can see the bomb shape behind it too.
I find a good balance for the audio, but at the same time, it's like the audio, like all the music is not quite mixed together entirely well. So it's like there's gonna be some variance. I think this is about as good as I can get. Oh well.
Hello.
Shit.
Oh,
To Dokapon though. First question that we have on the block. What do we want to see added or changed if they make another Dokapon installment? Like, if we ever get another Dokapon, like sometime down the line, what do we want to see just like, changed or whatever? And supposedly one that actually gets brought over to, overseas, so that we can actually play a game.
Double battles.
Fucking double bat. Okay, that'd be funny.
That actually would be kind of sick.
That would be kind of cool.
Like you could absolutely
effective.
do unofficial teams and kingdoms, but having an actual team would be very interesting.
Honestly, I think that would be cool. Just the fact that like there's a lot of variants you could do with that, because you could you could theoretically have 2 party members that you spec into different stats for, or you can literally have 2v2s. Or as another thought, just like you could have 4-player games just with the two party member gimmick, which I think that would be pretty cool. Not sure how you'd balance around that, but this game isn't known for terribly well balanced anyways, so like, do we care? we want to have fun game.
Yeah.
How do you balance it? You don't. This is Dokapon.
Yeah, we're here to have fun.
We play around our problems.
Exactly. We play around the problems. We do not address them.
That's why.
Yeah, I think double battles would be a good idea, or at least a fun idea. How about you, Mooney? Assuming you are typing up a bit of a storm.
I would like to see more customization for characters, such as skin tones and clothing.
Oh yeah, skin tones would definitely be a big one.
Skin tones would be great.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Character customization is always just nice to have options for.
Yeah.
Kingdom, like, you only have hairstyles.
You only have hairstyles and eyes.
Yeah. And the eyes come with a different voice.
Uh-huh.
Also your color, and no 2 players can even have the same color.
I think that would also be a very good idea, just having customization.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could understand it back like on the Wii and PS2, but like at this point in our Lord and Savior, the year 2024, you'd expect a little more.
More clothes would be nice. I want to wear more clothes.
Yeah, outfits would also be cool. And you had also suggested that alongside the just skin tones.
Yeah.
I think. What else would be cool to have? I guess we use a lot of AR codes to try and rebalance the game and make it more fun. It'd be cool if a future installment just had those built in, like a bit more custom balancing.
Oh yeah, just having good like that's definitely a pipe dream, but at the same time, just having the ability to just kind of like tamper with the game in ways like this, like some of these aren't even like very big. They're very minor things that are just kind of help the game feel balanced a little more.
Mhm.
I kind of want 2 spinner by default. 1 spinner makes the game so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could also see, like, remove 0 from the spinner and make it go 1 through 10. That could work too.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Another thought would be like, another thought would be potentially making it like, what am I trying to think of? It's not thinking hard enough right now. Shit, I thought about the music and now I can't remember what I was thinking. Right, we're talking about customizability, right? Shit, get back to me on that one.
Like a jukebox?
I legitimately honestly forgot like the premise that we were just talking about, so now I'm like trying to remember what we were just talking about so I can like say what I wanted to say.
Things you'd like to see in.
I mean, I know the things you'd like to see, I just like forgot like how the customizability, like what I was trying to say in specific.
Mhm.
Like, shit. All right, spinners. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
For my thought for the spinner would be, if you want, like, since crystals are already here for general for general single like minor space movement. If you want to keep movement relatively quick, while also keeping the 1 spinner around, make it 3 to 8.
Cool.
That way you have a minimum of 3 spaces to move, while also you keep crystals as the important tool of getting guarantees, while also keeping the game relatively quick.
Huh.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing that I thought of for Mario Party as well. Like, Mario Party could totally benefit from, like, if they want a 6-sided die, but they don't want to, but they also want to keep, like, movement relatively quick, you can just keep the average of the roll of 5.5, but you just shorten the number pool down to 3 to 8. That way there's, on average, you're getting screwed over less.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I ever really considered. Like, it seems so weird to not have 1 as an unnecessary painful option, but at the same time, like, when boards are like too long or whatever, that you need to have just big options constantly.
The map is huge.
The map is very big.
I think more bridges would be nice. I think more ways to like connect the world would be nice.
That is kind of what the items are for, though. The items are meant to be really powerful things that allow you to get around the map quickly. Especially like guided warps. Guided warps are just meant to be this super powerful item that you can just use to get to one place that you want to immediately.
Yeah.
I can kind of get the sense that like Dokapon is definitely balanced around the 1 spinner, because the fact that like having any form of movement at all, or like having inventory that allows you to get movement better, like that gives you a really big leg up. But at the same time, because of that, it makes the like experience of being in debt and having nothing to work with that much worse. Because then you just have nothing to work with and you're moving like 2 spaces a turn.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's kind of a hard thing to balance around, in a sense. Like, it's as weird of a topic, as weird as it is to just say like it's hard to balance, like it just, you know, to argue against having just a 2 spinner. I can see why it's just a one spinner, but at the same time, I can definitely see why it's like you definitely just want the two spinner, especially for stuff like streams. Streams are super good for like just being able to get through the game. Because if not, then like me going through that, we could have went through like an hour and a half of that. We could still be playing the game because I would still be in in the hallway of hell.
Yeah, just that two spinner code just makes everything so much faster.
Yeah.
Wonder
it's
where
very
we would
nice
even
quality of life.
be with the one spinner if we had that. Like, would we even be at chapter 8?
I'd expect we'd still be around chapter 8. Maybe just getting to it, maybe just beating Rico, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be. I mean, in some parts it'd be faster because you need small, precise movement. But most of the time, it would probably not be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because like early chapters, you're going a lot of places. You're not doing that precise movement until like probably not even until like chapter 3.
Yeah.
Chapter 3 is like Chapter 3 is the point of the game where it's like if you don't have spinner, like Chapter 3 is the point of the game where you really realize that like how impactful like just not having spinners is, because if you're trying to do the objective, you don't have spinners unless you're a thief.
Yeah.
Because you just have to get there with a full inventory of shit you don't want.
Yep.
And also, if you're a thief, you can just steal one of the items and just make them forcibly backtrack to say, I don't know, like the magma cave.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself there on that one though, because we were talking about Pink has killed me twice. Pink, purple. Pink. Yeah, it's killed me like twice, but you know.
I think it's
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
in this game.
Yeah. But alright. Next question though. Most annoying part of Dokapon.
The fact that every single game I've played, I've gone for hero and haven't been able to.
That's
Very
specific.
specific.
No, here I get that. Hero is like the most late game class ever.
Mhm.
It's such a hard class to get to.
I mean, that's entirely based on how I play, and it hasn't really affected me. Like the first game we ever played, I could have won if I just went to fight Rico, and I did win our second game.
Yeah, you did because you got every single bonus, and that just like puts you barely over the threshold to win. It was like, oh my god.
I mean, this game I threw after getting unlucky, but it was funny.
It was a very funny throw because of the fact that we just saw the graph spike so tremendously hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I were to generalize it, I would just say like those late class requirements are cool. Like those late classes are very cool, and I know hero is supposed to be powerful. I just wish it was a tad easier. There's like 2 levels of RNG to it. There's acrobat, and then there's getting the angel wings.
Yeah, there's fighting Rico Jr.
Yeah, finding him, getting the right drop, and then being able to go to the mountain in time.
Yeah. I can definitely see where you're coming from with that though. My most annoying, the thing that is the most annoying for me about Dokapon Kingdom is like, honestly just the enemies that can just make you stall, like they can do the stall turns for you.
Yeah,
it's like no matter the level, they will stall turns on you.
Yeah.
That is probably my biggest pet peeve on the game. It's just like enemies that can force stall turns on you no matter what because of their abilities.
Squeeze.
A lot,
like,
so many enemy skills by the late game turn into like have a lot of guaranteed portion of damage to make sure you're getting hit by something, alongside a small chance, though it is still a chance, that something breaks.
Yeah. I think
That
there's
is-
like the fixed damage part is okay, but like
Yeah, but the fact
Losing
that you can
equipment.
just lose equipment
that's
that
a little
easily,
annoying.
like losing equipment, I feel should be a consequence of death, like just dying to an enemy like that, or
Yeah.
or you lose it from another player. Those should be the only two things that you lose equipment from. If it is lost by just the game itself just saying lol get better, I think that's the point of the game that's just like this is already a game that in my eyes is very player focused. It is you against the other 3 players that you are playing it with. You are fighting against them. The world is just a medium for you to fight against them with. So as soon as the game intervenes in a way that just hinders your ability to fight other players like that, is a point where I'm like, okay, but do you really need to though? Like
Mhm.
that's how I think. That's how I feel about Dokapon, and like as a whole, just like in terms of that specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
Why is the game being mean? That's our job.
Exactly. Alright. You got thoughts, Mooney?
Field magic is very annoying to deal with. Magician using 2 damage spells against you per turn. Flash Bomb, Purse Cutter, Death Call, come here.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can see all those as well. If you're expecting the magic and you just have a if you just have a mage that's just like healthing magic from you across the map, that can becomes very annoying to just try and deal with, especially if you haven't expected the magic yourself. Because if you haven't expected the magic yourself, or at the very least speed, so you can try to evade, suddenly the game just becomes like this super, I guess, almost non-interactive game of just trying to survive the mage that is hitting you from a literal continent away, sometimes multiple, usually multiple continents away.
Yeah.
And they give out spells like candy in this game too.
Yeah,
Right. Like Flash Bomb doesn't appear all that often, but when it
yeah.
does,
But
you
Flash
have to be
Bomb is
scared
like
of it.
the nuke spell.
God,
And
It
then
is
the other
the-
players drop it in the spell sword, or dodge it, and the spell sword reflects it.
Yeah, then that's just funny. Like that, I think that's just an unfortunate problem that you have to deal with. That is a oopers.
We'll say, if I were
Oopsie doodle.
to also just say like an annoying part that's class specific, Alchemist, just in general.
Alchemist in general. Yeah, I can also see that one. Alchemist just having the ability to, like, essentially make the whole idea of being in debt a non-issue is definitely a thing that's just like, I'm not sure if I agree with that.
It's just a little
I could see what they were going with for that though. If you're going other jobs that have good like stat buffing spells or skills, you could just go fight the alchemist and just like literally take all of the money that they have accrued.
Yeah,
That's one thing you can do because you are investing in entire battle skill to make money.
Cut off the source.
Yeah, you just cut it off right there. You just take a fight and you kill them. But at the same time, that being like almost the only counterplay there is kind of strange.
Yeah, there should at least be other methods.
Being able to duplicate items as well, especially stuff like charm potions and revivals.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that's really like. I could understand the skill to make money, in a sense, because that is you are investing a skill.
Right?
But just being able to freely duplicate as your passive is kind of strong if you have like the right inventory for it.
Because like even if you didn't have alchemy to make money, you could get lucky and duplicate like gems or something,
Yeah.
or gold bugs.
But
Does that work
at
with,
the
like,
same
block?
at the same token though, on the
Duplicate
same
atrophy?
token though, yeah, after duplicating all the atrophies, hell yeah. But on the same token though, that bridges pretty well into another topic that we have for things that we find either like annoying or like and whatnot, because both of those things that we have talked about with Alchemist are nerfed very heavily by an entire game mechanic in this game that we have just ignored for the whole session. Weber,
Oh yeah.
how do we feel about cursed items? How do we feel about it?
I'm
Like the
so
level
glad I
ones,
didn't
right?
have to put up with them.
Yeah, those are like interesting because I think with both of our last games we've had them off, and it's like,
I think Big Bug and Blackmail are good for the game. The Nitro is just really annoying.
yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I can kind of see that. Like blackmail forces a bit of interest. It encourages that PvP thing you were talking about earlier.
yeah, it encourages players to interact directly with each other, and it also forces players to spend money. It forces the players that have a lot of money. You can just stick a blackmail on them, and they have an ultimatum of they either spend half of their money that they have to get rid of it for a turn, or they risk it and potentially lose all of their money, or lose another very valuable thing. Like the
equipment
cursed
recall.
items, while like they're annoying as hell to deal with, I can see entirely why they are in the game.
Mhm.
Like, as much as nobody ever wants to get a cursed item, obviously, like it makes a lot of sense as to why they're here, because then it's just like it's another avenue for the player versus player aspect of the game to just kind of shine, which
Yeah,
I'd say a good portion of the game is when you are like having incentive to fight other players, whether it just be from personal beef or just like things that you have or things that they are trying to get that you are also trying to get.
yeah. Like if you're several levels behind, we have the stats to fight someone. That could be a good time to just, you know.
I
Yeah,
think I got this. You may have 5 levels on me, but by
The big
lord,
bug
I'm gonna hit the
is-
strike.
Like Big Bug is interesting because it forces you to not hog items. Like you have to you have to use them, or else eventually it'll go away. But you also have to use them, or else it won't go away.
yeah. You also just can't because if you hog items and you get more items and accrue more items, you'll just keep having that big bug. So you either use them right now, dump your inventory and get rid of it, or the alternative, as what we have been saying, fight someone to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, that is a thing too. You could fight them to get.
You can just say, okay, your problem now. You deal with this cursed item, and then just run away, run away cackling to yourself and just saying, "Ha ha, your problem now, bitch."
Yeah, and the nitroglycerin is just kind of a random chance to die, which like there's a lot of that already. Having one in the form of an item you can't get rid of until you beat someone else is just
Yeah,
it's frustrating. And then even like you have to beat someone, and if you mess up, it could just knock you down to 1.
Mhm.
Or you can't even get rid of it by fighting them because you just already lost it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the other items also provide like far more than enough reason to already screw with people. So like,
All right. I think we've just about covered enough of what we have to say about just the Dark Thing items, though, or rather the Weber items, though. I think, you think we've covered that topic enough, fellas?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Then how about we move on to the next one? Next question. What chapters of Dokapon are what is our favorite chapter and what is our least favorite chapter of Dokapon Kingdom?
I think we agree on the least favorite.
Unanimously, I feel like we all agree on three being the worst one.
Just
Which-
the requirement of having 5 niche items just to get to the king, which encourages everyone to be a thief and be annoying.
Yeah, it immediately just brings out the flaw of there just being an immediate job that can steal items, and also if you're not playing with a 2-spinner code, it brings out the other flaw of I am a sitting duck. And people can just pelt magic at me. People can just people can try to fight me. People can run past me and steal from me as a thief. And if I'm just a warrior, or if I'm not a thief myself, I can't hold other items to move with. It's the most fundamentally flawed chapter of the especially early bunch. I'd say that the other one that's also very fundamentally flawed is the fact, I know that the game has to end somehow, but Chapter 8 is also,
Yeah.
You saw how it went for us. You saw how it took just about 5, how long was our first session of Chapter 8? It took about almost 7 hours, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was a long one.
It took 7 hours of us just kind of politicking with towns and just trying to build up something, just for it to end with Darkling into I get 40 towns.
I mean, that one was semi-intentional. If I wanted to be closer to winning, I would have just
You would have cast a pound again.
I would have did Castle Panic and then tried to take some more towns back. But
actually, no, you would have come here.
That's
You would
true.
have come here and just brought me back.
Bring you out from hell, get rid of the passport, and then we have to just reset again. On
Yeah.
one front, I wanted the game to end, and on the same front, I wanted to see how distant the placings would be if one person just got every town.
Yeah, no, I can totally see it. I was also kind of curious as to what would have happened. So it was funny. The final room looked
Oh yeah,
infuriating.
the final room. Because there's only one encounter space, and it's Rico. Everything else is either unnecessary loot or negative loot.
Yeah, or red loot, so you can try to chance.
Death.
You can try to chance to theoretically just dying.
Yeah.
Going into the underworld actively makes your chances at winning worse. You lose a bunch of towns and everyone else can steal them while you're in hell.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sure, getting every town that is actively, taken over, sounds really good, but at the same time, spending a quarter of your towns at the end of the game is huge.
Yeah. Because also
Should've
it's
been-
random which ones you lose. So if you have a significant amount of the most valuable towns, but no, I guess even if you have that many towns, it's just yeah.
Final room is just. I mean, there is an item in the back of that area though. If you have a magic key, you can go get I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Punisher. You just get I believe one of the best weapons in the game at the very back of that room. But yeah, the final room is just you made it. Either try to buff up as much as you I know why the room is set up like that. It's so you can just try to buff up as much as you can before you start fighting Rico. but it's like you could have made that a little easier to get to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Punisher gives you 300 attack.
Huh.
Oh,
Huh.
that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is very powerful. But on the opposite side of the coin, though, what is our favorite chapter?
Yeah, that one's a little more difficult. I want to say like one of the ones where you have to like get a companion, and then people have to fight you to get the companion for themselves.
Yeah, I think 4, 5, and 6 all have like 4 and 6 have the companion. 5 has the item that you have to find in a dungeon.
One also has the companion with the wise.
Yeah, one
granny.
also has the companion. Yeah. Yeah, like two, like I think 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. They're all set up the same way of like you go to a place, 1 and 6 are set up the same where you go to a place and get the guy and take him back to a place. 4 is Rico Jr. 2 and 5 are the fight guy, get item, take it back to the castle.
Yeah.
Which I guess that is 2, 4, and 5 because you are fighting guy, bringing item or
Person.
Princess Penny.
Yeah.
And then taking them back to the castle.
Personal favorite is Chapter 6. It promotes more interactivity between players since you actively have to chase someone through a dungeon to steal the demolitionist.
Yeah, 6 is pretty good. I enjoy that because like chapter every other chapter that has an escort or item specific thing, you're going back to the castle. So your journey gets safer as you leave and go back to the castle. And also, you can't guided warp to the objective of chapter 6. That's another plus.
Oh yeah.
That's like the fact that you can't guided warp there is like gives pretty big points in the favor of that one, I'd say. I think chapter 4 makes a good I think chapter 4's Rico Jr. makes a very good midpoint though. I appreciate that chapter for the fact that it is an introduction for fighting Rico Jr. now, because it's like Rico Jr. is just is an average of everybody, so it's like it's interesting in that way. And now you just kind of know that that he's a thing now, or rather his stats spread and whatnot. That's chapter 2 where you were just fighting Clonus.
Yeah.
I think that chapter 6 is like definitely the one that's the most interesting out of all of them and actually promotes the most amount of like interactivity between players.
I'll also say one point in chapter 8's favor is the fact that you have to fight a Cronus before you can actually go to Rico's castle. Because at that point you're way stronger than you were in chapter 2, so it's actually a difficult fight.
It is an interesting fight after, like, once you actually do it. Sometimes you hit to a point where it's like, I think one time that when I was in like when I was fighting the first Clonus in like chapter 2, we both meditate stacked. So it was like, uh-oh.
Double 999 magic.
Uh-oh.
A little spooky.
Yeah, it was a little spooky, but it was funny though. Bent, have you stated your opinions on this?
I think so.
Well, with that though, since we've delved into the chapters, the next question of this, do we believe that Dokapon is fair and balanced?
I think it
Or
is.
does it
for the
have
first two
good
chapters.
balance?
I think it is for the first 2 chapters.
That's fair.
Sometimes games aren't balanced, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that Dokapon's imbalance is kind of what makes it the game that it is.
I can see that.
Like the sheer amount of things that feel definitely imbalanced kind of make it what Dokapon Kingdom is in general. Because the thing I can obviously point to, the Darkling is blatantly the most unbalanced thing ever.
Yeah.
That is the wrench in everybody's plans that everybody now has to deal with.
Bowser
You are
Party
now-
before Bowser Party.
Yeah, Bowser. Yeah, way before Bowser Party. Like 2015.
Oh, yeah, big.
Yeah, it is the wrench in everybody's plans that you now just have to all collectively deal with. Or just say fuck it and we just vanish for 2 weeks.
That's usually the
Both
better
work.
option. It's nearly impossible to fight the Darkling.
Yeah, it's the better option, but at the same time, it just locks you out of doing things for 2 weeks, so the Darkling still just gets to kind of roam the map freely and just do whatever.
Steal some castles, end of the world,
I think that by the time that chapter 7 hits and you were able to actively just get bounce, or enemies just have bounce, I think that's the point where the balance is kind of yeah, you should have just expected to attack.
Yeah.
And that's also the point where it makes having a good weapon, or just having a weapon in general, very necessary, and that also makes the point of having a lot of enemies that break your weapon really, really sad.
And you can get more money because enemies drop more money, but that doesn't mean you can just spend 700,000 on a weapon, have it break immediately, and then just recover
Exactly.
from that. You get
Exactly. How about you, Mooney?
I think it's fine for it to have bad balance because it's a party game, but there's some really bad examples of balance.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Like item breaking abilities on random monsters in the field, and some field magic.
It's dumb. They can just wall you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the fact that you can also just get put into gay baby jail, that happened a lot during the other game that we played.
it did.
During our second game, I'm pretty sure it happened 4 separate occasions on me during the same session.
And the last one, you'd prepared for the last one.
I prepared for the last one because I was like, fuck you, I'm getting store warps, and then immediately as I got them, I get roadblock rocked again.
Yeah.
Magic Guard DX giving you a 90% damage reduction to magic as well.
Oh yeah, that also being a thing normally.
Little unnecessary.
Yeah, a little unnecessary. A big reason why we had the balances, because a lot of the defensive magic by late game is super busted, super powerful.
Shock if you can survive. We've seen just to die in the next turn.
Yeah, that's. I think the fact that I think shock is of all of them. It at least you can at least hit the player. like if someone just it is still a guarantee that you can hit the other player, which makes shock not quite as broken as it could be, because like if you bait out shock, then you're just going to get hit with a bunch of damage anyways.
That's true.
So it's like that one is interesting because of the fact that like you can still hit the other player, and magic is still a guaranteed hit no matter what.
Yeah.
I think shock and mirror are the two ones that are like super powerful, but at the same time, like you can still say that they're somewhat fair.
What does mirror do?
Mirror is 50%. You take half damage, but you also send half of that half back to the other player, back to the player that sent the damage to you.
Huh.
Gotcha.
It's intriguing.
So it is a less effective bounce, which is to say, which is to say, they put bounce in the game for a funny reason, I guess. They just wanted to be funny. And then they gave Darkling the better version of bounce that only it can have ever.
In comparison,
They gave
what does bounce do?
Bounce just reflects the
Sorry.
Yeah, bounce reflects the damage that you do, or that you would normally do, back at you.
That's it.
So, yeah, that's it. It is a counter for magic.
Huh.
And then Darkling just gets that, but lol, you take 4 times the amount of damage instead.
Oh. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
That's
Yeah, it's a little bit it's a little nuts, but at the same time it's a Darkling. They kind of just have the good. They just kind of have the stuff.
They're built like
combat
that.
mechanic.
Yeah, they're built to be the impossible fight. I think Mooney said it pretty well. It's like the poor balance is fine, but at the same time there are poor examples of that poor balance in here as well. So it's like we can't cut all of the slack out of it.
Yeah.
I'd say it would be interesting for us to do a normal run to see how that would go, kind of ending the game in a more natural way.
Be very different.
Yeah,
Because it wouldn't be any of the...
we wouldn't have the underworld shenanigans to deal with.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the underworld.
We'd have a lot more. I think we'd have a lot more general player interaction.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what I'm expecting. Next question, though. Favorite and least favorite Dokapon Kingdom classes?
Hero, even though I've never gotten it.
Favorite and least favorite?
You know, yeah, I was saying that for favorite, but that kind of works.
Least favorite because I can never get it. Favorite because I want to get it.
Yep.
Because it looks so cool.
My favorite class is Monk and least favorite is either Ninja or Alchemist.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can see that. My favorite will always be Robo Knight.
Of course.
I think that Robo Knight is like, since it is the most, like, it is the achievable of the two optional classes, and you will still get it by late game. Like, I think it's just a cool ass job, because like there is literally nothing else like that job, because of the fact that it's just like everything else is something pretty conventional, something that you sort of expect. Then you just bring out technology and become a fucking cyborg. It's like that's just cool. I like that. That's cool.
The Robo Knight is very cool. Just on
that's
all
the
fronts.
main thing. It's just like it has the cool factor, and it also has a unique strike animation for when you have a cool weapon. So
Yeah.
it's like you get double the cool factor.
I can turn into a rocket now.
Yeah.
I think if I were to give a more genuine answer, my favorite is Acrobat, just because of that random chance that you don't die.
God,
This
that's
game has some bad
funny.
RNG, but that one's funny.
No, that shit is funny.
Yeah,
I think
but then least
my
favorite
favorite would be
probably
Oh,
Thief. Sorry.
And
No, you're
do you want me to pick up my thing?
I'll just say it quickly. My least favorite is probably Thief, but that's solely because of Chapter 3. If Chapter 3 was different, it'd be different.
Fair.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Benj, well, did you have anything to say, Benj?
No, you can go first.
Okay. What I was gonna say was like, I think Acrobat is interesting because their skills are super funny. Like their skills are probably like some of the best in the game, just because like you can just say nah, I live, and just live, and then like live just like a blackmail or just dying and just brute forcing a boss like that. But at the same time, it's interesting in that it's balanced by it has the worst salary in the game by a landslide. But yeah, that's what I had to say. Benj, what about you?
I think my favorite's Warrior. I like the attack bonus.
That's fair.
Yep.
Big
I think-
strong guy, hit things strong.
I think for my least favorite, I'd have to say Cleric. Only because I like have rarely ever seen the healing effect actually happen.
I mean, it happens more commonly than you really think, but I guess you kind of didn't really have it happen much.
Yeah.
I don't think I've said my least favorite though. I've said my favorite being Robo Knight because, yeah, I think I've ended every game as a Robo Knight.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it the same. I'll try to make the same case for the other session, but I'm not sure if I can do that because we're now on chapter 8, and I still have a whole other class to master. After Alchemist, still have to master Monk. My least favorite, shoot. Honestly, I think it's probably either Thief or Alchemist. I'm not sure. Like Thief has the issue of having really not great battle skills. In my opinion, like those two skills I never really want to take ever. But the other issue I see with the Thief is like, as you said for chapter 3, it is the most annoying class in that context, like ever. It is the most annoying class because you don't have enough jobs to say like there's probably going to be a thief on the map anyways for that chapter because of the fact that you don't have enough jobs on the field to really just say someone's gonna spec into everyone's spec into something that isn't a thief by chapter 3.
Yeah.
You're not that late in the game.
If Chapter 3's objective was maybe like swapped with Chapter 6, I could see it like kind of working, because then by later in the game, fewer people are gonna be thieves.
Yeah, few people are gonna be thieves, and like you could have like something like a ninja or like just something with like a bunch of other item slots you can fill to mitigate that. Because like if you have a ninja, they have 10 item slots. If you have like probably not a Robo Knight at that point because it's chapter 6 and not quite 7 or 8, but a Robo Knight can have 10 of each. Spell Source can have 8 and 8. Like there's a lot of options. There's a lot of things. There's a lot more things that can like really mitigate the thief just doing things.
Yoink.
The Alchemist is like Alchemist kind of just has like the issue of if you let an alchemist go for too long, they'll just get a bunch of money and win off of just like having a fuckload of on-hand cash. They kind of mitigate the issue of what do I do when I'm in debt. They entirely just kind of mitigate the issue and just say it is no longer an issue because you now have the skill you can invest in that just gets you out of debt for free.
Huh.
It kind of takes away a part of the game that is kind of like, while it sucks to be in debt, it is still a part of the game. All of us have went into debt at some point in this session, in this entire game. I had an entire arc where I was just complaining about being in debt.
Not wrong. Happens to the best of us.
The clip is still there of I cast magic missile, I don't lose all my money, loses all of my money.
Memories.
And then there was the portion where Mooney killed you. You couldn't take your money because you were both in debt, but then just gave you all of their debt.
Yeah, which was like pretty shortly after that. It was like,
Double
yeah, it was like, oh, great, wonderful, outstanding, amazing.
Good, great, awesome,
outstanding,
Okay.
amazing.
That guy should narrate everything.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
or the F-Zero announcer. The GX announcer is also really good.
All right, first place.
Yeah, the final lap. Danger. Of course. Yeah, that one. Changed my head into a wall.
Bowser's Big
you-
Blast, awesome.
Big Blast is very I haven't really been giving it this is the easiest game to just kind of have a podcast to, because you don't have to give it really any thought, and even if you AFK, you're still doing something in the game.
Yeah, I do give micro amounts of thought every now and then. All right, I guess
like-
I couldn't even think this game. I didn't get a chance to press the
did you
button.
oh my god, you just won by doing nothing. You did the
Let's
Luigi.
go.
I give you an L over your head for doing the Luigi, but at the same time, that would require me to stop and do things in OBS, and I don't feel like doing that right now.
That's fair.
White Switch has killed me like 15 times.
I mean, if you hit it 60 times, killing you 50 times is kind of warranted. I don't even know how many times we've been doing this, but it's things to do.
Oh,
I think we're at.
I just realized I gotta click on it.
I think we're at 27.
Next up, though, do we think that Dark Kingdom is a fun comeback mechanic?
I think
Yes, you
fun,
don't just-
yes.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta switch it up a little. If I defaulted to my normal Switch, I would have died. Like now. See? Had to bait the game. But yeah, Dark Kingdom.
Dark.
I do think it's funny. Well, yeah, I do think it's fun, because it's a lot more RNG, sure, but it instills a lot of chaos, especially when you just got one player every time the Darkling just spawning a bunch of traps.
I think at the base level, it is it's hard to say, because castle planning is such a game-changing thing.
Yeah,
It's I'm fine with most everything else about Darkling. The fact that it has an ability to just reset the town situation back to square one, that is at least interesting. It is interesting in the fact that now it's kind of exactly what Darkling wants to have happen. It is exactly what they need to get back into the game. Just bring everything back to square one. That is what they want and what they need to get back into this game. And it also gives them the experience to get back into the game, because they just get all of the experience from every monster they summon. So it's on that level, I can see it. Darkling works on that level. And also the fact that there's a lot of choice with Darkling. It's just entirely forego getting towns and just use it to manhunt someone for all of their gear. There's a lot of choice for the Darkling player, and there's not meant to be a lot of choice for the players that are trying to evade it, because that's the whole point. The Darkling is supposed to put the power into the player that is using the Darkling. So, in one sense, I get it. I totally get it. But the fact that there is also just a there's just a Star Steal button that you can get for free most of the time as a Darkling is like,
Yep.
That's my one gripe with it. It's like, I think that the Darkling should not have access to that if they already have two castles or more.
Yeah, cap would be
Oh,
cool.
that's an idea. I think it's fair to have a way to change castles in the game,
Yeah,
because otherwise
That's
you can't.
fine.
But also limiting that if they already have some castles is a interesting and probably good balance that I wouldn't have thought of.
My
I think it's
problem
the
with
one-
Darkling is the Darkling points spinner. 0, 5, 100, and 200 really shouldn't be on the spinner. Castle Panic or Global Domination should be something you have to spend your entire Darklingdom to get.
That should be more
is-
consistent.
yeah.
That is also a fair point. If it's down to 10 to 50 for all of the results, then like it kind of alleviates the issue of like it's just you get like a bunch of you can get like either neither of the things that you want or both of the things that you want, or sometimes multiple of the things that you want.
Yeah. Because as it is, you could have those absurd runs where you do get multiple castle panics while also already owning castles, and then you reset the world.
I think an interesting idea for Darkling, if we want to like brainstorm ideas to like make it, I suppose, more balanced. If we wanted to do that, play more into the fact that you have that you are spending your time and like you are essentially just like investing in either taking over the world or manhunting. You play more into that by instead of having point rewards determine what you can do, have it be amount of turns remaining to determine what you can do with your stuff. You spend turns to use your skills.
Oh.
So if you want to just Castle Panic or Global Domination, you just spend your Darklingdom right out the get-go. You spend like an entire like week or like an entire like 10 or 11 days to get one of those things, and then like you have the effect. It's just now you have the effect, you get all the experience for that, but now you've like essentially burnt all of your Darkling, and now you've like and now everybody can do things again.
I like that.
It's like a big summoning circle shows up under the castle for a couple turns.
Yeah,
Be cool.
that's just kind of my like now kind of like cooked up thought as we've been talking about this. It's like it makes it interesting in the fact that like your like turns are still a resource, but now it is something that you can actively siphon away into something that you want, instead of just something that you have to wait for and that everybody else has to wait for you to wait for.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it interesting.
Intriguing, even.
Any other thoughts about Darklingdom?
I think Dirk said it pretty well too, because it's less of a comeback mechanic and more of a bringing everyone else down to your level, so that you can come back once you're done.
Get over here.
But then sometimes everyone else can just come back harder, since you're stuck
Yeah.
like that for a while.
Yeah. Darklingdom is a very strange thing to just kind of like talk, like to thing about it, because like it is exactly what Dirk said. Is you come back, but you come back after bringing it's definitely in the spirit of Dokapon. You show no mercy. You
destroy them.
that is the Dokapon way. Show them no mercy. You must break them. You break them, and then you come back with that.
Well, side note, that was our 30th game of Bowser's Big Blast.
Hey.
Nice.
Alright. Moody, do you two either have any more input on this matter?
I think that teleport to me move is dumb. But it's also really funny because it's a Darkling. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's also an item like that in the Field Magic, I believe. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm here,
Break them,
doesn't
but
just
you-
Skill Magic, although I think it's just one player.
Come here as a field magic is as a field magic. It functions for on everybody, but it's only on the map that you are currently on. It does not go into any sub area. Come here as a
Okay.
Darkling. It is anywhere in the world, no matter where. You could be up in heaven, and then Darklingdom says, "Nah, God ain't there. God ain't there right now. Come back down."
Grabs you by the shirt.
If Darkling can go into Hell, which I don't think it could, it'd be really funny to use Come Here in Hell while someone was in Heaven.
You're being dragged down to hell right now.
Get over here.
Yeah, you break them,
Or
but you
the
already broke
opposite,
yourself,
even.
so just break yourself.
It's equally impossible, but
Just hope you break them harder. Yeah. Also, well put. Eloquently put, Dirk. Any more thoughts from you, Moody?
No.
Okay. Alright. The next question then. Suppose what is our the best and worst encounter in the game? I suppose any standard enemy, or I suppose boss. Are we going to count bosses in that, or are we going to keep them separate?
well, I mean, what I hear.
Okay, we can keep it as okay. We'll separate enemies and bosses. If that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, when I hear encounter, I think of like the random open spaces you can hit.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
Dr. Exiles.
oh yeah, count. Oh yeah, the exclamation points. Yeah.
Yes,
That's what
yeah.
Okay. Worst encounter. Dr. Exiles is definitely up there. Dr. Exiles is definitely up there because it's like it's kind of one of those things that just kind of causes debt to just kind of be on the horizon. It's just like, whoa, debt be upon ye.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play Aroshambo.
Oh my
I
god,
hate
fucking
that
Roche.
shit.
Roche.
That's my
Roche
least
is-
favorite.
Man, I don't know if I love or hate that dude, because like Roche is like, oh my god, I don't know what to say about that man, because it's like they're really funny, but at the same time it's like it's after a point it's like, can you stop showing up here? I am literally in hell. Of course you'd be in hell. They brought you probably got that passport for free.
Yep. I didn't think too much of Roche until this last session, but they just kept hitting you.
Yeah, it's
It was like I've never seen Roche win that much.
I think that Roche is like, I don't know. I think I'd rather see Roche than Dr. Exiles, because at least Roche, you are actively doing something and playing a game. Dr. Exiles is just, he shows up and is like, hey, You are at full health and are completely fine. But I stopped by the same space as you, so I'm like, I'm gonna take like a good, I don't know, 200 grand from you. Because I'm quite the celebrity, you know. So like you got like you want this autograph, right? Of this tattered part of my sleeve. Yeah, here you go. That'll be 200 grand.
Dr. Exiles is better because he doesn't give you hope.
That's also a good point.
That's fair.
Bro, he's just the American he's just the American health system. You see him for 2 seconds, he does fucking nothing, and you spend 200 grand.
Yep.
It's great.
That is the Dokapon way.
Better guaranteed for lost than repeatedly losing something you could win.
I guess I see that.
No, I think Roche is like a roller coaster of emotions though, because like for the first half of the game, I was just coming up with shit to just say this is the mind game that you're thinking of, and I'm gonna outplay you, and then I outplayed them consistently, and it was funny that way. Because y'all just got to hear me ramble on about like, okay, he's gonna think that I'm picking rock, so he's gonna pick paper, so I'm picking scissors, and then I win.
mention a non-Dokapon Kingdom encounter for favorite.
Go for it.
Sure.
Oops.
So in Dokapon the world there is an encounter with a character called Luchil.
Huh.
What's their gimmick?
She stops you and forces you to play a rhythm game in order to get a reward.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's funny.
Wait, that's kind of cool.
You just play a rhythm game. That's funny. I like that.
I like rhythm
You
games.
dance
I can
now.
send screenshot in Actor Lounge.
Sure.
I think my favorite. Okay, Leanne is funny because it's like we get the surprise Barbosa. We get the surprise Barbosa cameo.
Sure.
Barbosa Marina. But also like Kira.
Yeah, Kira.
Kira's kind of just the best one because it's like here's a bunch of rare items.
And if you're not playing with cheat codes, you can get some unique hairstyles.
Yeah. That is my 2 cents though. I like of course I'd like the 2 girl cutes, but like can you blame me?
Yeah. I also like Pelican Tax Guy.
Oh yeah, the tax man.
Tax
'Cause, like,
man.
You don't win, like you get a ton of money either way. And it's just a matter of how much less you get. But it's usually worth it anyway.
Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you get lucky and get like that of like as low as like 10% taken off. Other times you get really unlucky and get 90% taken off. I've seen like upwards of 80% from myself. I got 80% of my taxes of my money taxed, so you know.
Yeah, because there is the collection space which does the same thing but for free.
Yeah,
So
it's just getting there.
But I think, having more chances for that to happen is also just kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't like that much size. But we discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Guts is funny.
Oi! I'm the famous wandering blacksmith Guts.
Like, he never works, but that one time he does, it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Slightly better stats. Better than nothing.
Yeah. I think Guts is weird because it's like, now that I know, it's just kind of like, it's like a little bit better than what you already have, it's like, do I want to spend the money on you? But you know, he's still a nice guy. He does what he tries to do.
He's alright.
Yeah. All right. Any more? Do we have any more input on this from anybody?
I don't.
I will take the silence as a no. So, the next one. How do we feel about striking? Benj, this is for you. How do you feel about striking?
I think it's hilarious. It turns the game into a coin flip, and I love coin flips. There are certain bosses who instantly counter, and that's like the one thing that stops it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do appreciate having a high risk option in a game just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think of it on like the PvP aspect, it's
No.
it usually is always a coin flip, but it's like a strategic coin flip, you know?
Yeah, no, the striking in PvP and in normal gameplay is super fun, because like striking in PvP is the super gamble option. Like it is the like the super call out option for you. Just like looking at the stat spread, looking at somebody else, and just saying, "Nah, I'd win."
All in.
And then you just strike. Then you just strike them with the force of 1,000 suns.
And it feels great every time.
It feels great when you like both when you get the strike off, and also when but it also feels great when the person that is receiving, like, you know, as the person receiving it, when you counter. It is like it's the most like got you. It's the most gotcha kind of feeling. It's like, I gotcha. Got your ass.
Do you guys think bosses should auto-counter, or should striking be a valid option against bosses?
I think it should be like a 50% chance that they auto-counter. Because being able to cheese a boss is one thing, but being able to not cheese it at all is another thing.
I'd say 2/3. I'd say 66. Because then it is because like you were like obviously the 1 in 3 shot of it being good is cool. Actually, striking is supposed to be like it's supposed to be the super powerful option that you can it's a super strong risk, right? So against bosses, I think it should be like 1 in 10. Because it's like, you are gambling everything away to beat this boss to potentially win the entire game. So, against a boss, if you get that, like, if you know that it is just a 1 in 10 and you hit it anyways, you are sending a message. And I think that's cool as hell. I think that's probably the threshold that I'd want for a boss. You have a 1 in 10 chance of a strike working.
Let me put it this way. If I knew there was a chance, I would have probably been down there with Rico first thing. Like, I would have rushed it.
Yeah, no, I could see you doing that.
There's also just the massive comedic element of Vendor striking 99% of the time in this entire campaign.
Oh, it would be great.
You know, that would be great. That would be wonderful. Like, if you could do that and there was a chance, that would be funny. That would be so good. Because it's like, you send them, the story bosses obviously should have a good chance of it failing, because they're a story boss and that is for progression. You shouldn't be able to just entirely cheese it, right?
I am the progress.
But if it is a chance, if it is a very high chance that it fails, but there's still a chance that your strike succeeds, that would bring so much fun. That would be so cool.
We strike cells need to rise up.
Yeah, but how do you feel about it, Mooney?
I agree that it should be a very low chance of working against story bosses.
Yeah. So in general, though, how we feeling? Just like against like PvP or just like against normal goons?
Though I would also say that town bosses should have a very small chance to auto-counter.
I kind of agree with that.
I'd say to mirror story bosses, I think it should be 10% for them as well, like to auto counter.
Like big monsters is any town monster.
I think big monsters could warrant like it actually being a 1 in 3 because they have three options.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Ooh. But I think that minor monsters, I think that like general town monsters should have like a 1 in 10. That's what I feel about that. It's like it's not very often, but at the same time, if you get called out for this, it's like Yeah. Maybe I should make my own Dokapon game. Or my Dokapon-esque game. We'll just goon up and do some just shoot the shit with each other.
Yes.
Be sick.
Party game with Dokapon board mode.
With enough time and a little screwing around on God, what's that Steam game called? Board Game Simulator? Tabletop Simulator. We could probably do it.
Agreed.
I'd learn Godot for this. Am I going to keep my word on that? Check back in about like an even decade. I don't know.
Stares at the camera.
Stares at camera. I think we've done just about everything we could say about striking. Next one though. What Japan only Dokapon game would you like to see localized?
I guess any of them, just because I don't have a ton of knowledge on them.
I want to see the one on the Switch get localized.
Oh, yeah?
Dokapon Up, that one. I want that one here because like that one looks cool. I want to see it. I want to see more than just Kingdom.
None of them. Dokapon 2. Kingdom 2. Let's do it.
The second coming.
Screw the exclusive ones. Let's just get a new one.
No, but in
Let's
reality,
get a new one exclusive to the US.
Like, there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
I would prefer a collection, but if it can only be one, I would say Dokapon the World.
Hmm. Maybe one day we'll get like it. Maybe one day we'll get like a translation. I don't know. I like peek over in the Dokapon server every now and then. I'm not sure if there's like actual like official translations being worked on, but I just look over in there now every now and again. And it's like neat.
There was a Dokapon Monster Hunter game.
Oh, that's fun.
Huh. It was on the Game Boy Advance.
We should
that looks
simply
cool.
learn Japanese.
We should.
True.
You're so right for that. We totally should. You know what? Next time we'll be playing Dokapon the World. We'll be learning Japanese by the seat, and flying by the seat of our pants as we do it, because we haven't learned Japanese.
Duolingo on our phones. Oh, that'd be great.
I do have Duolingo on my phone set to Japanese. I also haven't touched it in a year.
Funny.
That owl's gonna kill you, bro.
Listen, I downloaded that app so I could not fail my Spanish class. See,
That's fair.
That is fair.
Google Translate mobile app lets you translate via photo.
that is true.
We'll make it work.
We just need to establish like a frame-by-frame program or something.
Google Translate into deep.
We're translating to deep. That's just how the Splatoon and A patch notes get into get translated initially. They just get put into Google Translate and say, "All right, this is what they do. This is what we're getting." That's how we get like shit like the Inkstorm, it being the enemy Inkstorm that affects you. Or like the Squeezer ink efficiency nerf being mistranslated as an ink efficiency buff.
Yeah.
It's like, good job. Congratulations, you did the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I would just like to. Honestly, I would just like to see any of the ones that are like. I suppose, like at least from like the GameCube era and beyond, get translated and localized.
Old game.
That's kind of my one thought.
Good vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like any game, any other Dokapon game outside of this one would be interesting to see because it's not just Kingdom because it's it would be interesting to see. More content for us to enjoy / explore / get angry at / not enjoy / talk about for an entire podcast.
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Alright, but I believe we have gotten to the last question here.
Oh.
We've gotten to the last Dokapon related question that we have. The final question, the most important question that we have to ask here. What is the best shop owner? Who is the best shop owner?
Hans.
Hey there! Hey there!
We're having a sale!
Which one do you want?
I think we have now unanimously just told our
thanks a
opinions
lot.
on that. Hey, thanks a lot.
He's just so good.
Hey, we're having a sale.
Yeah, no, Hans. Phenomenal voice.
It's just the voice that does it. It's like the way that he just says everything. It's like we're having a sale. It's great. You want to rob me? Seriously? It's great. I think the cat's funny, but I think I have less opinions on him because I don't see him as much.
I think I like puns. I think it's just a little too much.
Which one do you prefer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's Kira.
Thank you. Come back soon. Meow. Would we count Kira in this?
I would. Like, it's not. You can't consistently find her, but she's otherwise
Yeah,
functioning.
she is a shop owner.
She sometimes sells like really crazy good stuff.
Yeah. Like, always a goated shopkeeper. And then.
Yeah, I'd say Kira would probably be my second pick then because, well, girl cute bias. All right. Thanks a lot. And then the Chance Boutique is like, she's all right. She's fine. Like, she does her job. That is about all I can say about her. And she also got censored in Connect.
Yeah.
They covered up her cleavage. You can't be showing that in this day and age, you know? This is like E10 Plus. You can't be showing that.
Meanwhile, you literally go to hell. Heck.
You know, we go to heck. That's not hell.
My bad.
Meanwhile, Fire Emblem.
What rating is Fire Emblem games at this point? Like, what rating are Fire Emblem games?
Wait, sorry, what?
What rating are Fire Emblem games normally?
T.
Well, see, that's a T rating. That's not E10 Plus.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think with this discussion we have kind of thoroughly we have just about as thoroughly as we could talk about it, like the shop owners that we enjoy, and why Hans is the best one.
True.
Because Hans is just the best one.
See you later.
See you later. And back to the. Alright, we've been going on for a good hour and a half on the podcast, no?
Respectable.
Ain't a bad time.
Yeah. Did we want to go any further, or did we want to save the other topics for another time? Do we have anything else to rant about?
If there's anything like one small thing I could pull up, there definitely isn't. Never mind.
I could have my Sonic Shuffle rant hour. How do we feel about me talking about Sonic Shuffle?
Explain
like,
Sonic Shuffle to us, Pierre.
There are more things that I expect to like have like some form of similarity between Sonic Shuffle and Dokapon. It's like somewhat loose things, but it's interesting. So you know what? I will humor this and talk Sonic Shuffle for a minute as I die. Alright, so Sonic Shuffle is a very strange game because it is like it's a game that while it was marketed as a Mario Party like for Sonic, it does not do that job very well. It somehow makes an entirely different mark on like that idea. Like it does at a glance, when you look at the game at a glance, it looks like Diet Mario Party but with Sonic characters. But as soon as you try to play the game, you will very quickly realize, or you either very quickly realize that this is not Mario Party, and like gear yourself to play a not Mario Party game, like you're playing a different game, or you keep on thinking, or you go with the idea that it should be Mario Party and keep getting disappointed that it is not Mario Party because it is absolutely not Mario Party. There's a lot of things that can kind of go into that. The main thing is the way of movement. The way that you move in that game is actually, I should just kind of explain the basis of the game in general first, before I get onto like the actual game, before I get onto like down the music a little bit. Yeah. Before I actually get onto like actual movement, I should get onto like the basis of the game in general. The basis of the game is it is similar to Mario Party. You have a set amount of precious stones, which are essentially the stars of the game, to collect throughout the board. Your objective is to get precious stones, which act as stars, and get get precious stones to win the game. After the final precious stone of the game has been collected, you can change the amount of precious stones that are set to be in play for the game. But after the final one has been collected, the game ends with a final minigame. Once that game ends, you are the game awards bonus emblems the game awards essentially emblems for everything that you did. The precious stones get converted into emblems, and then you get bonus stars, which are also more emblems. So the emblems are what determine who wins the game, but precious stones are a means to an end to get emblems naturally alongside other things. So it's essentially bonus stars.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, you just get stars, and then whoever gets and then by the time the last star has gotten into the game, the game ends with a final minigame that also whoever the winner of that one is gets another emblem. So that's kind of the basic gist of the game. Now, the thing that separates itself from Mario Party in a very drastic way is the board design and how you move around the board. The board design, instead of it being a straight path you walk around, you have Dokapon Kingdom movement where it is free movement around the board. You can go back and forth. You can go like whichever way you so please, as long as it is on a path you can reach. There is no auto path finder though, so you have to do all that yourself. So that's a bit of an issue. But generally the numbers are quite small in Shuffle anyways, so it's not terrible, honestly, in that aspect. But the other thing that separates it from Mario Party is the way you move. This is also what very harshly separates it from Dokapon is the way you move. The way that you move in this game is that collectively everybody gets a set of 28 cards, and everybody gets 7 cards each. The set of 28 cards will include 4 of every number of 1 to 6, 3 S cards, which are special cards, and then 1 Eggman. The main thing with this hand is that, like, while the cards you get are random through this set, you are the only one that can see your hand. So you essentially are playing, like, it is an interesting avenue of you have guarantees in what you already know that you have, but at the same time you also have a strategy of, I know these cards are in my hand, and these are also cards that are in other people's hands, so you can play around that. Because one big thing you can do is that you can steal cards from other players' hands and move with those. But you don't know what they have, so you just have to guess. Yeah, so that's another thing that is interesting about the game, is like the movement is slow, but very methodical and very thought out. With the S cards and the Eggman, at one you get either an S card or the Eggman. You get one. Everybody gets one of those things. So like, if somebody uses an S card, let's say somebody uses an S card right out the gate, now you know that their hand is entirely free of an Eggman. So like, if you have a shit hand, you can steal from them and just try to make up for what you have that way, and just steal from what they have. And alongside that, if you have the Eggman, while that might seem bad because the Eggman is a bad card that you don't want to pick up, which will both cost you a movement turn and also do something random to you, typically a bad thing, it also gives you the opportunity to just say, well, I have this Eggman, I can just steal from everybody else's hands and just go off of that. Because you have no fear of stealing from anybody else's hands because they all have good cards, or at least middling ones that are not an Eggman. So that's another thing that just kind of separates it from Shuffle, or from Mario Party and Dokapon. It's a lot of strategy around movement and looking at the cards that are here, because you can also always see a discard pile, so you know what cards are on the table and what ones aren't, because the only way that cards will get refreshed is once every card has been used. So every card has to get used, including all of the Eggmans, all of the S cards, everything. It's a very, like, I think that is the one strong point that Sonic Shuffle unarguably has, is the strategy that goes into how you use cards, or how cards are used in general for all 4 players, because there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot you can take out of it. I'm not sure if I have done a great job at explaining things, but that's kind of like the gist of what is going on.
I can imagine that. So,
it's like, cards are very important because, well, not only are they involved in like how you move around the map, it is also used for literal battles. It is used for battling. You don't battle other players with the cards, but you battle enemies with cards. And enemies are also what you fight to get precious stones. You do not actually pay for a star. You fight an enemy guarding the precious stone to get it. The way that you fight is interesting in the fact that typically in a given fight, every enemy will have a designated every enemy has a designated value that you have to win against. Like say an enemy has a value of 2 on them. You have from any card from any playable card in the deck right now. You get to pick a card. Just pick any card that you want to play. Let's say I pick a 5. If I pick a 5, I now have a roulette that I can time that flips between 1 to 5. So if I hit like 2 or higher, then I win the fight. If I hit the 1, I lose the fight. It's pretty simple like that. But also, if you hit exactly a 2, you get a critical. Typically, those don't really matter when the fighting for a precious stone, because just winning the fight is what matters for those. But if you get a critical in a normal fight, well, winning a fight in general, like just a standard battle that you find on the board from like a battle space, if you win a fight, you both get an item and also the ability to steal a portion of rings from another player, which are just your coins. Then if you get a critical hit, you steal twice as many.
Ooh.
So it's another thing of watching, like checking the cards on the table and making sure that you have the cards necessary to actually win a fight. It's another small layer of depth to the cards, because they are used for the two very important things up in the game, for movement and for battles, because movement is how you get to the precious stones, battles are how you actually get the precious stones. You're explaining Sonic Shuffle was not on a bingo card for today. Look, this game is like, I feel like I'm doing a good job as to explaining it to how this is not Mario Party at all. Am I?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
I can get the picture. The movement's different.
The
win
movement is
condition
slow and
different.
methodical. The win condition is like different. The like the way you get the win condition is also different in the fact that like it is structured differently. There are still Mario Party elements to this game. Like it is still, there are still some elements like that. It's not a game that's slow. Yeah, no, like this game is like I think okay. War Dog, good friend, love that guy. He explained the game very well in like a short sentence. It is not a party game, it is a board game. You are playing this like a board game. There are still mini games and other things that will remind you of Mario Party, but you are playing this like a board game that has small Mario Party elements to them. The minigame pool is not that large. I'm pretty sure there's about 40 minigames total. The item pool is for some reason super vast. A lot of the items remind me of Dokapon Kingdom things. Like you have an item that is just a roadblock rock. You have an item that is just a roadblock a rock costume, which just allows you to, you know, just make yourself impassable. Like you have an item that warps you to a random space in the board. You have an item that warps you to somebody else on the board. You have an item that warps everybody to you. You have an item that warps everybody to random spaces on the board.
Holy crap.
You have an item that just that allows you to use 5 cards in one turn. You also have an item that just is the big bug. You have that. But also the big bug can eat itself. It's like there's so many wild and weird items in the game. The carbuncle, yeah. The carbuncle ate itself. That is a thing that can just happen. Your big bug can just eat itself. It's great.
If we play Sonic Shuffle, we should play Fourth Dimension Space.
No.
What?
Okay, fourth dimensional space is a board in the game. There are 5 boards. Fourth dimension space is the last unlockable board. Is the one unlockable board in the game, and the last one that you get. It is by far the worst.
Okay.
So imagine you know how typically boards are structured, like you're either on like you're typically on a flat plane, or like say if you're playing like Globetrot and like Wii Party, you're on a globe and you're spinning around a sphere.
Yeah.
Imagine Globetrot, but you're in the sphere instead. You have to spin from the inside of the sphere.
Oh.
Ooh.
It is disorienting as all hell.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
And also there are also portions of the map that just like say you have a chance to just get like, if you land here, you have a good chance to just like get warped to the opposite side of the map. Have fun finding out where you are. It's a lot. Fourth dimensional space is not a great map to start with, especially.
Oh, I can imagine. That was
Yeah.
game number 50.
Neat. But other things to note. I've been talking about items. I have not talked about the minigames and the mini events that much. The minigames and mini events are relegated to their own space. You think Mario Party 9 and 10. Think those.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have I died first, by the way?
Frequently.
like this has been getting consistent.
I've been keeping track of that one,
But yeah, like it's very minigames and Shuffle are okay. The minigames in Shuffle, some of them are pretty bad. Like quite a few of them are pretty bad. Some of them are really funny, but most of them are like, it's like most of them are just kind of like noise that you definitely cannot really take these very seriously, because they're not, because you can tell this is where the Mario Party of the game comes from, because this is definitely it reeks of old Mario Party. It reeks of like Mario Party 1, almost. Yeah, the mini games kind of range from like games that are relatively alright. Like there's just one that's very similar to Bowser's Big Blast, which it's just called Sonic Cola. Eggman shakes up a soda can and puts it into a soda machine. Everybody picks a button, and one of them is just bad. So if you get the bad button, then well, too bad. But also, it's just one round, so it's just if you don't get the bad button, if nobody gets the bad button, you just oh hey, everybody gets money, cool. It's kind of funny. Other games though, like yeah, man, a lot of okay. There's a really fucked up jump rope game, where you're playing jump rope with a snake, but the weird thing with that jump rope is that with the jump rope game is that you are not playing jump rope all in a line. You are essentially playing them like in a square formation, in a diamond formation, with each other.
Weird. So
a lot of the time, if nobody knows what they're doing, or if nobody knows how to time the jumps, because the snake is very weird with it's very weird with perspective in that game. So if you don't know the perspective and how to time that jump, more often than not, the player that is the furthest away from everybody else, or the player that is the last to get hit by the snake, will just win, because the snake just stops immediately. So it's really like the games are pretty poorly designed, but it's kind of funny. Like there's so much strategy that can go into the boards themselves, and then the mini games are like the weird white noise of the game, and also not even all the time. You might not even get a mini game. Sometimes you'll get a mini event, which is like a little storybook cutscene. There are a lot of mini events, and a lot of them are like they're very weird. Some characters. All right, I haven't even talked about the characters themselves. Oh my god. Cool. Yeah, but a lot of the characters, or some events actually favor certain characters. Some events characters will auto fail, others will auto pass. Some events are complete luck. Some events have so much luck involved that have so much variance involved, I should say, that there's one event where if you just get unlucky, you will depending on your result, you will either lose 100 rings, you can gain an item, or gain 100 rings, depending on the result.
Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival events.
Yeah, no, these are just Amiibo Festival events, but they're just tied to an actually okay game.
Oh my god, that was a game.
Like Amiibo Festival is a game without any substance. You can make substance out of Sonic Shuffle because there's just so much to like. There's a lot you can think about with that game because the base board mechanics in the game and the card system actually work really well. It is the strongest point that I have in favor of that game. Amiibo Festival has nothing for that, but alongside the card system and all of the things that I've just explained, every character has a gimmick as well, has an ability tied to them. To explain all of them, I will go from the order of of the characters that are in the game from left. I think from around left to right on the character select from what I remember. So first off, you have your main man Sonic the Hedgehog. He is a character that essentially, you know how I talked about all about the card system and about how cards are very strategic and how you can move around the board with all that. Just kind of keeping track of all those things. Sonic plays into that very well and kind of makes like he has a character that you can actually play somewhat fast, because his gimmick is the fact that any card, like if you have a card, like let's say I pull a 4 as a card with Sonic. If on my next turn I use another 4, that 4 gets doubled into an 8. So you can keep track of these, and like try to play around the fact that if you have another card that has, like, you know, if you have 2 of a card, or if you steal a card with a good value that matches another card that you already have, you can plan around that. And also to keep in mind, it is only for your second card. The third and fourth, like the after the first one, or after that initial double, you'll have to pick another. Like if you really go for 4 in a row, you'd have to get a third 4 and then a fourth 4 to get that double, an 8, essentially. Tails, Knuckles, and Amy fall under the same category of characters that have routes built into the board for them that they can access. They essentially just get an extra route or 2 on the board that they themselves can access and nobody else can.
Huh.
So like, if there was a tier list for this game, I suppose it would be board dependent because of those 3, but yeah. The next up in line, I believe, is Gamma. E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure, because these are all Sonic Adventure characters. Yeah, this is all the SA1 playable cast plus Chow, and for some reason Super Sonic, because I couldn't think of an 8th character. Super Sonic is just better Sonic, by the way. You know what I said about like how you can't like have the ability proc for the 3rd and 4th turns? That's just what Super Sonic does. It's just that, but for the 3rd and 4th turns as well, you can do the same thing. So he's just better Sonic. So,
It's Sonic, I guess.
yeah. So this game has 7 characters. Super Sonic's banned.
Fair.
But yeah, E102 Gamma has a very simple gimmick. If you are rolling with a 4, if you move with a 4 or higher, you will you do not have to deal with the negative effects of a red space, so you do not lose rings from red spaces. It's very simple.
That's neat.
Big the Cat is interesting in that if you use a 6 card, you essentially get a multi-crystal effect, in that you can stop anywhere between 1 and 6.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then there's Chow. You want me to tell you what Chow can do?
What can Chow do?
He can't. He has no ability on the board. He's just there.
Wow.
He is the one character in the game without a board ability. And alongside with that, Chow has probably the worst battle ability as well.
Edge.
Actually, not even probably. He definitely does. The gimmicks of the other characters. Depending on the minutia, so unbelievable because there's so much to this game, and this game does not explain any of it to. Yeah, no, the game does not explain. Yeah, like me doing this is like I'm giving you the rundown of the game and why, like, once you actually learn it and like understand it enough, there is a decent, even pretty fun game underneath it. Underneath all of like the shit that you have to like learn and dig through to find all of this stuff.
You have to figure that all out.
Yeah.
Wow.
The battle abilities are essentially what you can do with the S cards, by the way. The S card is a special card in which I didn't even explain it for what you could do with it on the board, but S cards in battle are how you activate your battle skill. Your battle skill depends on who you use. I'd have to remember like what Sonic's is. I honestly don't remember most of them. I'll be real. So like I know that Tails for his battle skill, he can pick 2 cards for a battle, so he can just like so he gets more totals. He gets more, he gets more rolls to actually kill an enemy with. So like the rolls are also additive. So like say if you have like a 2 and a 4 card and you roll like a 1 and a 3, you get 4. You get 4 out of that. So that's nice. The dog is here, by the way. Hello, little guy. Hello, buddy. Wanna say hi? Speak for me. Speak.
Doggo?
Speak. Speak for me. Speak, Babo. Speak.
The critters.
Speak. Speak. Come on.
I heard it.
Speak.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doggo.
Thank you, Babo. You're the best. But as I was saying, special cards. Yeah, like some characters can get like you can use 2 cards. Other characters you have guaranteed rolls. Other characters like it varies, but everybody has something that will actively like aid them in their attempt to kill the enemy. Except for Chow. Chow has instead a failsafe for their special card for the battle skill. Their failsafe is that if they lose, they do not get punished for losing when they use an S card. That's it. So while everybody else is kind of in the middle of the road in terms of if they're like whether or not like they're good or bad comparatively to everyone else, Chow is definitively the worst in the game because they have the least 2 of them because they don't really have anything that helps them stand out. They are just the person with nothing.
Sad.
And I play them all the time. They're my main. But outside of battle though, the S cards can also just like they can do a variety of things. How else would you know all this, to be honest? Yeah. Like after playing enough of the game with groups, it's like this is the kind of info only a Chalman could have. True. Yeah, alongside that, the S card can do several things as well outside of battle. When you pick an S card on the board, since it is, a part of the deck, you can do one of 3 things with it that the game will say you can do one of 3 things with. You can either use it for a standard roll, which in that case it will give you a roulette that you can stop to hit any number between 1 and 7, because the S it gives you a 7 instead of it just being like a 6. You can do that. You can swap hands with another player, or you can steal cards from another player.
Oh.
Those two options will get rid of your movement turn, but it is a pretty valid option if you just want to have more cards in your hand you can just see. It's pretty neat.
Well, I want to try this.
Yeah. That's essentially all you'd really have to know about all this sort of stuff. Like, I've already explained, like, the mini events have, like, the mini games themselves, nobody has, like, distinct advantages or disadvantages in those. Everybody functions the exact same. Mini events, characters have specific, like, events that they can win or lose. But yeah, it's quite a bit of stuff. There's so much, like, as Cal has said, it's very funny that I'm explaining all of this because, like, all of this minutia, the game will explain, like, the bare minimum to you if you sit around on the title screen and watch the tutorial. It will explain how you move, what cards do, and what S cards do, from what I remember, and also what spaces do. I should also explain what those, like, how blue and red spaces are different from Mario Party. You know how blue and red spaces, like in normal Mario Party, you just kind of gain or lose 3 coins.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Sonic Shuffle decides to take that to another level and allows you to actually grind blue and red spaces. Well, blue spaces, and then get punished for red spaces as well if you like land on multiple of those. And the fact that there is a combo system. The more
shit.
if you land on multiple blue or red spaces in a row, you actually start your wins and losses start to multiply. So you start with 3, gaining or losing 3, then you go to 6, then to 9, then to 12, then all the way to 15. And also, it is not picky whether or not it is a blue or a red space. So if you get like 12 from a blue space and then go to a red space, you're gonna lose 15. Then there are also like events that can trigger when players land on enough blue or red spaces to cause Eggman to say, "All right, I'm gonna make the blue spaces smaller, or the red spaces bigger, or vice versa." And when that happens, the gains and losses become skewed both ways. Where, say, if the blue spaces are bigger, you now get 5 with multipliers instead of just 3. But if it's smaller, you only get 1 with multipliers instead of 3. So it's like there's weird minutia to that as well. There's a lot of weird minutia to this game that is like so strange. I didn't even there's also one other thing to explain about the precious stones. I think I'm going to leave it at the precious stone thing though, because I've been talking about this for long enough, and it's just all this weird minutia. And I made the most interesting part of it as the first topic. So kind of an issue on my part, because the movement is probably the most interesting part of the game with the card system. But the last thing to talk about would be like the precious stones, and after you get one, is, well, the precious stones themselves are pretty static in how they spawn in. Like, I'm pretty sure they're mostly preset as to, like, if you're playing a full game of like 7 precious stones, you're gonna know where each one of them is going to spawn. If you just kind of have played it a few times and just kind of remembered. But the thing I'm talking about is after you get a precious stone and the precious stone moves to another, and there's another precious stone that goes into the playing field. The player that was the furthest away from the precious stone, linearly, not distant, not space-wise, linear distance, like straight from you to the precious stone, in terms of that distance, the player furthest away from the precious stone loses half their rings.
What?
Eggman just drops a fucking dumbbell on you, or an 8-ton weight on you, and just says, "Ha, lol."
Well,
Yeah, so like, you can, if you know that a precious stone is going to be somewhere else, you can just go and camp over there. But if it's on the other side of the map, then, well, I think this mechanic specifically only works with Shuffle because of the fact that you can move wherever. The fact, if this was Mario Party, that would be beyond actual bullshit, because of the fact that you are on rails in that game. You can't really choose where you go. You just kind of go along where you can.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, make him mess up with it. So, no, I mean, like, that's what he does. Eggman does the resizing himself. But I think that's about all I can. I think that's about all I can really say for this game without really, like, I've added about a good half an hour to this whole thing.
Well, the song has cursed me.
I'm sorry. Well,
Anyway.
oh my god, I don't think how many of okay. Real talk, how many of these have I won?
I've got the
I
stats here.
have
Yeah.
Mickey.
You are at 14.
14 of how many?
Wait, I gotta do a quick math.
Wario just won that one, so.
Out of 59.
Well, I'm surprised I was at 25% for. I was almost at 25% for that. That did not feel like 25%.
Yeah, so current rankings, I'm at 16. You are at 14. Venger is at 17, and Mooney is at 12.
You know, if we keep track of this, I feel like we will just see like the statistical, like, you know, everybody's statistically staying at around the same spot, which I think is kind of neat.
True.
Like, the longer this goes on, the closer everybody gets on average.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the chance of statistical outliers is always funny.
Also true.
But let's make it an even 60. Let's do one more with the game audio.
I'll also make sure I math that right. I'm pretty sure I am. But
I gotta.
yeah, 59. So one more will bring us
Alright.
to 60.
All right, let's do one more with the game audio then. Go. Projector back.
One for the money.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
What we got?
What's up, Dirk?
Derek.
I have a guess.
Triple down white. I mean, that's Mooney's whole game plan. Mooney just always picks white. Because they just mash. Winning play guaranteed. Well, I'm not going to step on Mooney's shoes then.
Statistically speaking, no.
I mean, statistically speaking, that could just also not happen because you might not even be able to triple down white.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's why I didn't
Well
triple
done.
down white. Something told me in the back of my head.
Pure ban Dirk.
Well, you were gonna do that anyway. But I guess they did kind of will it into existence. You made the fatal mistake of picking the one switch that wasn't there on our podcast thing.
I will steal your Switch.
True.
Oh, I can't steal yours.
Aha. My Switch is not here.
Benj, can I trust your Switch?
I don't know myself.
I believe. No.
Oh no.
Alright, so the final results for Blastcast 1. Venger and I are both at 17, Pure is at 14th, and Mooney is at 12.
Nice.
Just under 25. Mooney is at 20%. Then I forget you two are a bit over 25%.
Oh, where do I save this?
That was
I guess
fun.
just here.
Yeah, that was fun.
Bye,
Yeah.
Woody.
Bye, Woody. Well, this has been a fun stream. Oh, I don't have the thing set up over here.
Is there a
I don't have
visual
the-
that goes with it or something?
No, the audio cue is entirely. I haven't set it up over here, so.
Okay.
Browser audio is also. See, it's set up
Also
over
on
here.
Amiibo Festival, to play it on emulator you need to scan 2 different Amiibo files to roll the dice, and there's no hotkey.
Yeah.
Damn.
Also, for some reason, the audio decided to just cut out. Oh, right, the audio cut out because I'm not tapped into that.
Yeah, the game's a little paused.
Yeah. Mix it up. Paste it over here.
I am gonna get going, gang.
All right.
Night.
Oh no.
There.
Good night, gang.
Well,
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Till next
Have
time.
a good one, man. Yeah.
So long, Chad.
And there he goes.
Oh god.
Thank you, Mooney. When his attack will come. But yeah, this was a fun little stream.
Indeed.
I'm glad that I could just have a bit of that I could have you guys on for a little podcast session.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
glad we could keep it going for a few hours, and I'm glad that I could spend a good 30 to 40 minutes just talking about Sonic Shuffle. It was great.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm glad you're keeping track of the score, because I wasn't.
Of course. Yeah. I'll have this file saved. If we end up doing anything else, any other games for the Blastcast, I named it generally, so.
Okay. Yeah, I've spent almost as long as talking about Shuffle as the Dokapon part of the stream lasted. Yeah. Like,
You're not wrong.
I spent a long time talking Shuffle. I think I should send this VOD to War because he'd be proud. But yeah, it's been a fun night. I'm glad we could do this.
Indeed.
Yeah. But
Congrats.
with that, next time we'll be doing the podcast will be let's check the first Saturday of March.
Is the second, actually.
Was it second? Oh, neat. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense considering that
Right.
this was 4 weeks plus 1 day this month is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
February plus leap year.
So stay tuned for that coming up on March 2nd. It'll be a great time, I swear. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Did we swear by that, fellas?
I will make it.
And I can't really get Venge's sworn allegiance to this being a good time, but
It will be a good time.
yeah.
We got some fun Mario Party related topics for next time.
And general game things as well.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you've been spared the Sonic Shuffle rant hour. It was for the first cast. It was great. Maybe if we actually get around to playing Shuffle for one of these days, we can have a podcast episode about what you guys think.
Maybe.
Yeah, unless we play Shuffle. Exactly, Dirk. You get it. You get it.
And then the next podcast will have us, I don't know, complaining. Who knows?
It'll be great with the next podcast topics that we have, because I see one that's very aptly named for Sonic Shuffle. Which is right above the Sonic Shuffle rant hour that we have.
I see.
That topic. Yeah, but that aside, thank you all for coming on and watching us talk about things for Dokapon. It's been a fun time. I'm glad I could do this with some good friends that I know. I'm glad you all wanted to do this. Makes me really happy. Might not have a big audience, but it's I'm glad that we just have an audience in general. I'm glad that you are here, Dirk. I'm glad that you're here, Kel. Both of you, you're great. Love you too. Mwah. Platonically. Yeah. That. Yeah, you are a forbidden member. I can invite you onto the couch one of these days.
First
You could be like
Dirk.
Yeah, you could be the first guest. You could get the green switch. Actually, you probably don't want the green switch. Do you want purple? I can give you purple.
I can also give up red.
Yeah, you can also give up red for green. Like you getting green.
Yeah, green matches Link pretty well.
Fuck you, I'm keeping white.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I wasn't expecting you to take white or to leave white. But yeah.
Anyway.
Regardless, you all have a wonderful night. I'm gonna see if I can find anyone to raid
Oh yeah.
for a moment, because I'm not really good at keeping that up. I should probably be getting better at that. Let me check Twitch. Get over here, so y'all don't have to watch me check Twitch. Saturday. Mario Party. Wait, are they fucking playing Ninjala? What are you doing? Hold on. Oh my god, they're playing Ninjala? Holy shit, they're playing Ninjala. Y'all wanna watch some Ninjala?
Why not?
Fuck it, we're rating Ron John 64. Alright. Got 21 people watching. We're going for a raid. All our subscriber only chat. Oh well. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. Was a wonderful stream. Not many people watching, but glad y'all are here for it. Have a good night, everyone.
Night, fellas.
And remember to get up, stretch, and get some water every now and then. That's always
All
important. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Raid has happened.